if I don't know the answer to your question, I'll be able to make up something so convincing you'll never know the difference anyway. So we are going to talk a lot about architecture on our tour today, and most of the architecture we'll see in Kingston is from a period through the 1840s and the 1850s. That's when we were in the midst of our biggest economic upturn that we had throughout the Victorian era. We were at that point a hub for shipping in Upper Canada. All kinds of goods that were coming to and from the colony had to make pit stops here in Kingston because we were the connecting link out towards the Atlantic Ocean, first with the St. Lawrence River, later with the Rideau Canal. So that's most of the architecture you'll see today, but I would be remiss if I didn't let you know that Kingston has been a colony for an awful lot longer than the Victorian era. I actually had settlers arrive here in the early 1600s, and we were initially a French colony known as Cataraqui. That all shifted during the 7 Years' War between Great Britain and France. A major battle was fought here. While it was a major battle, it wasn't a very eventful one. There were 3,000 British troops that showed up to the battle, and defending the French fort called Fort Frontenac were about 150 French defenders. So the battle didn't last very long, and quite shortly after, Kingston ceased to be a French colony and became a British one. That's where most of our architectural legacy comes from. Now, even though I've said that, the first piece of architecture that I'm really going to point out to you is from that original French colony. So when they arrived, they immediately saw the strategic value of this area, with, of course, the St. Lawrence River leading straight out to the Atlantic Ocean. So they established a trading post here to trade with the local First Nations, a group who called themselves the Wyandot, or the Wendat, and whom the French called the Huron. Began this trading network with the Huron and with the Iroquois, or the Haudenosaunee, down to the south. Started sending furs back to France. And of course, once you have a trading post, that becomes a valuable target for any potential enemy force, so they immediately built a fort to surround it. The fort was called Fort Frontenac. It was built by a famed French explorer, René Robert Cavelier, Sieur de La Salle. He was a French explorer who had his base of operations here in Kingston, and in fact went as far south as Louisiana. When he discovered that area, he claimed it for France, and he named it Louisiana in honor of his sovereign, King Louis XIV. Now that you've had my little history lecture, you can see this tiny remnant of his fort, the oldest standing structure in Kingston. Over to the left-hand side is the northwest bastion of Fort Frontenac. Now over to our right-hand side, you'll also see Fort Frontenac. This one was built by British forces shortly after they destroyed the original fort. They were very, very good at building fortifications, these Royal Engineers, and we'll see lots of evidence as we go along. They were terrible at coming up with names for them. We're going to cross over a little river here. This is called the Cataraqui River. The bridge that now spans it is the La Salle Causeway, named for that French explorer I just explained. The Cataraqui River is also the southern entrance to the Rideau Canal. So, visiting from Ottawa, if you want a shortcut back, it's just about 200 kilometers along the ice and you're back to Parliament Hill. Next, we're going to head out to a peninsula called Point Frederick. It was originally surveyed to be a location to build ships. It's going to be a huge naval base and shipyard called the Royal Naval Dockyard. The British built warships here all the way up to and throughout the War of 1812. Today, of course, it's been overtaken as the Royal Military College of Canada. You see the campus starting to span out over to our right-hand side. So I'm going to turn us into the Royal Military College in just a moment. And this is that reminder. We're going to pass through the gates, and I'm going to need cameras to be tucked away just for about 5 or 10 minutes as we drive through the campus. Once we come through the other side, you can bring your cameras back out and take all the photos that you would like. Just once we head into the campus here, we'll need to have them tucked safely away. The survey that was conducted here was in 1788. You won't see the key feature today that made this the perfect place to build these massive warships. It was a bay. It's called Navy Bay. It's still called Navy Bay right now, but it's much, much more narrow. It was filled in the 1970s as an effort to increase the size of the RMC campus.